Hi guys, Jen here, and it's that time of the week again. I'm laughing because I can't seem to get an intro that's good. So this will just have to be it. So I'm meal prepping for myself. Before we get into any of it, please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you know when I post a new video or some new disaster that is happening. Or entertain you with the fact that I can't even speak right now. Anyway, so I'm going to show you at least how I make my one treat that I'm having throughout the week, and I'm using it as my purple. And if you guys don't do portion fix or the 80-day obsession, you're like, what the heck is a purple? Well, it's part of like a macro plan, but it has color-coded cups to make things simpler. So a purple is a fruit, basically. So I'm not a huge fan of fruit. I'm putting blueberries in a lot of things, but I wanted something different this time, so I'm going to make, because of the time of year, pumpkin protein balls. So there's 2 per serving, and so that sounded like a really good treat for me to have. So I'm going to make those, and I'm going to show you how I make spaghetti squash, because I know that that is something that eludes a lot of people, and it is so super simple, at least the way I do it. So I'll show you how I do that. And maybe I'll show you again how I roast my vegetables. I already have my proteins done because I'm on top of the game. It's in the freezer. All I have to do is portion it out and throw it in a container. But I could show you that too. So we are going to start with, because my oven is preheating, I'll start with showing you the ingredients for these pumpkin protein balls. Who doesn't like a good ball? All right, there you have it. This is what we're using. So if you guys have never watched my videos before, you might realize that I don't always follow the recipe to the T because I don't always have all the stuff. And I'm sure that that's the same for a lot of you guys. So I'm using, first of all, I'll show you the recipe book I'm using. It's right here. It'll show you, see, it's for 1 purple and half of a blue for the portion fix program, which I'm using to do 80-day obsession with Autumn out of her Fixate cookbook. So here's the ingredients list, and I don't have everything. So I don't have maple syrup extract, but I got vanilla, and I like vanilla, so I'm using vanilla. I don't have pumpkin pie mix or spice, which isn't really a spice anyway. Like, pumpkin pies don't get spiced, but anyway, I have cinnamon that works with pumpkin. We're doing cinnamon, plus it's good. I'm all out of maple syrup, and I didn't want to buy more just for these, especially when I've got honey, and it was made in the United States, so I'm not that worried about it. I actually checked it. I think it's good, but you know, there's so many rules about honey and what's weird and what's not, but you know what? I've been eating honey out of a bear for a long time, and I'm still alive, so I think it's going to be okay. I have pecans, however you guys say that, but the almonds are open, so I'm going to use almonds. I don't want to open up my pecans because then they'll go bad quicker, and I want to save them for Thanksgiving and possibly Christmas time. Coconut flakes I have, but they're giant, so I'm probably going to stick them in a coffee grinder or just my food processing. Actually, I don't have my food processor anymore. My shake cup, that's right, because that thing can blend anything. So there you have it. Those are the ingredients. Okay, but before we get to that, I'm going to show you how I cook spaghetti squash, because the oven's preheated and I'm kind of scatterbrained. I'm all over the place, but I'm really not. I have a plan. It's just when things pop up, I just go with the flow. So I'm going to show you how to make spaghetti squash. This is a spaghetti squash, okay? My oven's almost preheated. I think I preheated 420. Oh, there it goes. I was like, I thought it was 425. So yeah, I preheated it to 425. I'm gonna take my spaghetti squash and, oh crap, wait a minute. Maybe I pushed it in too far. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna just put it in the oven, and it's gonna stay in there like that for about 40 minutes, maybe 45. All right, guys, so I'm going to triple this recipe because these things freeze really well, and I don't want to make it again for a while, and I know I'm going to like them because I've had these type of energy balls before, just with different ingredients. But I like all these ingredients. There's pretty much no chance I won't like it. And even if I don't, I'll eat it anyway. My kids usually love these things, so I want to make sure I have enough for me and then enough to give them, because these are a really healthy, good snack for them to have too. So I tested it out. The coffee grinder is the winner for this. So like I said, I'm tripling the recipe. So I started to grind this up. It's just the almonds and the rest of my, almonds and the rest of my coconut. So I'm putting it in this little coffee grinder, and I'm just gonna, no, that doesn't work. Somehow I'm gonna snap this on and make it work. Hold on. Uh-oh. I thought this was gonna be so simple, but it never is. There we go. Look at that. And just like that, it's all ground up. Who needs a food processor if you've got a coffee grinder? Look at that. Now it's perfect. So we dump that in the bowl. Okay. And then make sure we get it all. And don't hurt your fingers because it's sharp. There. Okay. So the other thing I've been doing before I started is soaking all of my dates in some water. And that looks really gross, but that's what it says to do. So that's what we're doing. You could probably skip that step, but maybe it wouldn't work as well. I mean, I've made these kind of things before and I've never soaked the dates, but whatever. I'm going to follow the directions. So they are soaking. I did my nuts in the food processor, pulse them. Now I'm going to add my dates, pumpkin, coconut, all the things, everything. And then refrigerate it. I think I'm supposed to wait a minute. I think I'm supposed to process it all. Yeah. I think it doesn't say that, but it only makes sense that I have to process it all. So I can't do that whole thing in the coffee grinder, so I'm going to do it in my blender because my food processing bowl broke. So let me get my blender thing. Now, does it say? Oh yeah, it does say to drain them. It's like, we don't put all that water in there, do we? Okay, no. So, it says to drain them. I'm not sure it's been 10 minutes, but like I said, I've never soaked them before, so I'm not that worried about it. I have drained them, and this is 3 cups. Maybe it would have been better to split this up, but we'll see if it can handle it. And then this is it's 3/4 of a cup of coconut, and then it's 1.5 cups of almonds. And then I'm supposed to put in the pumpkin, which this would be 3/3. That's 1 cup. 1 cup of pumpkin. I have a 1/2 cup thing here. So. And then I realized it's this big jar of pumpkin or can. I don't want to waste it. So when I'm done, I'm going to blend whatever I have left of this with some chicken broth and maybe just some salt, pepper, and some thyme. And I'm going to blend that and make it pumpkin soup. And then I'll freeze that for another time because, you know, I don't want to waste it. And pumpkin soup's delicious anyway. All right, so I'll probably throw some butter in there too. All right, so I need a full cup of this. That's about a cup. So yeah, I should get a decent amount of soup out of that. All right, so it says to add the pumpkin, the coconut, and the spices. I don't know how many. All right, so I'm putting this instead of pumpkin spice. And it says 2 teaspoons, but I'm timesing it by 3, so that's 6 teaspoons. So that's a lot. I'd say that's probably good. I don't measure this kind of stuff because you know what? You just put in what you think sounds like it would be good or looks good or smells good or whatever. it's really not going to change much of the consistency. And then I also need some syrup and a pinch of salt and the extract. So 3 teaspoons of this. That'll be 1, 2, and 1 big teaspoon. 3. I like vanilla a lot. We need a pinch of salt. So a pinch, that means I need 3 pinches. So this is probably, that's probably good. You know, whatever. It's probably good. And then I need 1 teaspoon of maple syrup. I'm using honey. It's not open yet. So I'm not going to try and measure this either, but it says 3 teaspoons. If you are a measurer, do 3 teaspoons. But I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3 for good measure. And you know what? If it's not right in one area or another, I'll just add more of whatever. So we'll just see how this turns out. So now I'm supposed to blend it. Okay, I'm going to go blend it. All right, so I blended it. That looks really disgusting, right? But it's good. So you don't want to blend it until it's like soup, or I don't know. You want to leave it chunky, okay? Because otherwise it's, I don't know, the texture, at least I do. I don't like my protein balls or whatever they are to be like, or energy balls to be like really, I don't know, smooth or whatever. I don't know. It makes them slimy. So yeah, I'm like a texture person, and I like it to have a little bit of texture to it and not to be slimy or, you know, weird when you bite into it. So I leave it a little bit chunky. So I put it all into a bowl. How does that look? And now I'm gonna stick it in the freezer until it's workable, so I can easily roll it into balls, and then I'll probably roll it in a little more coconut because I didn't use all that I could for these. Also, because it's for a meal plan, I want to somehow make sure that they're all the same size. So I'll probably use a cookie scoop and see how that works. If I get as many as the recipe says I should get, and then go from there, see what I need to do. But that's the plan. I'm going to stick this in the freezer now. All right, so while those are setting up, I'm going to get my other vegetables into the oven because there's room, and why not? It's gonna be on there anyway. So I'm gonna be a little lazy about this because I don't want to clean as many pans, and I want to get all the vegetables in at once so I can get done this a lot more quickly. I haven't cooked my vegetables like this before, but I don't see why I can't. I usually do them on cookie sheets, but I'm gonna put everything into a roasting pan. So I lined the pan with my cookie sheet mat, but I'm sure it's gonna work just fine because, again, I don't want more to clean than I have to. So I know that I said in my previous video that I might replace one vegetable with another for my plan, blah, blah, blah. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cook everything I have, cook it all together, prep out my meals, and then whatever's left, I'm gonna just feed to my family with dinner, and they will have the fresh vegetables too. Not a big deal. Or I'll put it, like, it's okay to mix the asparagus with the broccoli in my beef and broccoli dinner night, whatever I do. So if I have leftovers, it's gonna get used. I'd rather just cook it all up. So I'm hoping that it will cook as well as I like it to, being all together, but I think it'll be fine because, you know, I'm not picky. And if I use some of this in a recipe for my family, they're not super picky either. And, whoa, I'm going to throw it in a pan anyway, which will crisp it up if it's kind of, you know, not as crisp as I would normally. That smelled, I guess it's fine. It smells a little ripe. I don't know. Well, we'll cook it. I mean, maybe asparagus never smells that good. I don't know. But here we go. I don't remember it having a scent. What's the date? What's today? Today's the 9th. Huh. It's supposed to be sold by today. What does that mean? Can I eat it? I guess. I mean, it seems fine, especially if I cook it and we cook it today. Hopefully it's not weird. All right, well, we'll find out, won't we? I don't know. I feel funny about these. I think I'm not going to. They smell weird. I've cooked a lot of asparagus and I've never noticed the smell when I open the package. I think I'm gonna get rid of it. I think maybe no, I'm not gonna eat it. I think I might call Acme and tell them that I got old asparagus because, yeah, especially the one smells really, really bad. All right, I'll be back. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, that just smelled too bad to eat, so that's not happening. Okay, so now we're just cooking the broccoli. And I guess it's good I have extra because now I have just enough. I don't know. That was gross. Maybe I'll get some more. I don't know. But I'm going to use some of this avocado oil and just put a little sprinkle over top. Just a little bit. And then, wow, that smells bad. I threw it away and you know what it is? I didn't throw away the packaging yet. Not pleasant. Anyway. Okay. I don't know what that was. Now, I'm going to use some garlic powder, and I like a lot of it. So we're just going to sprinkle that on there. And then I'm putting that right in the oven, just like that. All right, you guys, so I scooped the pumpkin protein balls. They're still a little warm, I guess, so they're kind of sticky. So I just used a little cookie scoop, scooped them, and that was the exact right size because I got 48 of these, and that would be triple the 16 that it should have made. So that is the exact right size. I'm so glad that worked out. So now I'm gonna pop these back into the freezer and let them set up, and then I'll roll them more into a ball and then roll them in some coconut flakes. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna get out the spaghetti squash and the broccoli. So I'm putting these in the fridge because I have no room in the freezer. I have the other plate in the freezer already. But it's fine. I'll just pull one out while the other one's getting rolled. I'll put the other one in the freezer. So let's see, I can smell the broccoli, and the squash has been in there a while, so I have to think it's ready. I have a mess going on here. So it's really not a big deal to meal prep once it's all, like, you know, cleaned up. It makes life a lot easier though to do it. So here we go. The broccoli definitely done. When it's a little bit brown like that, it's just perfect. So we'll set that there to cool. And I'm gonna just, oh yeah, if I can push in on it and it's kind of soft and squishy, then I know it's ready. And it's also become a little bit brownish. I don't know if you can tell. But anyway, but that has to set and cool all the way before I do anything with it. But don't worry, I will show you what I do with it. Okay, so I took the spaghetti squash out and I cut it in half, but now you see all those seeds? So I have to dig those out first. And I'll just throw them in this bowl to toss them. But the squash is done just right. So I just had to get rid of the seeds and all of the pulp and all the gross things, you know? All right, so I got most of that stuff out. There's some seeds left, but it's not a big deal. Gosh, this isn't in a good spot. My tripod doesn't work that well over here, and I kind of have to do it over here because I have meal prep stuff just everywhere. So this is still a little bit hot. It's still actually steaming. So it's burning my hands a little bit, so we're just gonna go, and do you see how you just scrape it out? Oh my gosh, it hurts. It hurts. But it's becoming spaghetti. Can you even see? I'm burning myself. I hope it's not all for naught. But oh my gosh, it's cooked so perfectly. And now because of the way I cooked it, there is absolutely nothing in this, okay? So I may add a little bit of garlic, salt and pepper, Italian seasoning, you know, whatever sounds good with what you're having. But yeah, I got a lot out of this one. So, and I'm quite spatially challenged, and I don't think it's gonna fit all in this bowl, but It's fine because it's going right into a meal prep container anyway, but look at that. Isn't that awesome? I love this stuff. I don't know if you can see that, but I really like the texture of it. I'm not a huge pasta fan, and I can't say it tastes like pasta or spaghetti, but it adds another texture to your meal, and it feels carby. You know what I mean? Even though, I mean, it is carbs. Vegetables are carbs, but you know, it has mouthfeel of like the bad carbs, which tastes really good. So now I've got all of this to use up, and that is going to be, my meal is chicken. I'll show you, hold on. So my meal is chicken, some grilled chicken I already had cooked up. It was frozen from another meal I made. Some broccoli, and then I'll have a full cup of the spaghetti squash in there, and that will be a dinner. Okay, so now I'm finally gonna finish these energy balls, I think. These have been in the freezer a little while, and I'm just going to show you, I'm going to just roll them a little bit better so, you know, they're not flat on the bottom like from the cookie scoop. And then this is just coconut that I shredded up, and I'm just gonna roll it a little bit in that, give it like a little dusting, and that's what it looks like. So I'm just gonna do a bunch of them like this, like meatballs. Throw them in. Well, I mean, not that you coat meatballs with coconut, but you know what I mean. That's how I'm rolling them. So I'm just gonna roll the rest of these and then show you what they look like when they're done. Here they are, or at least half of them done. The other half I'm just gonna freeze, and I left some without coconut because I'm gonna freeze those too. I won't be eating them quite yet, so I don't want to freeze them with the coconut on because it just tends to fall off or flake off when it is in the freezer. So this is what they look like, and I think they're going to be such a good treat. All right, so I have quite a mess to clean up, so ignore that if you see it, but I'm going to show you all my food for the next 5 days. The only thing not pictured are, I'm going to have 2 eggs every morning for breakfast with my waffle, which I am going to show you the waffles, but I'm going to make the eggs fresh every morning. And the other thing is I still have to make some air popped popcorn because I will be having 2 cups of that every single day as a snack. So I'm going to make that a little bit later, but you guys don't need to see popcorn. You know what popcorn looks like. It's just going to be air popped in a little bit of coconut oil, and I will put some salt on top. Otherwise, I'll show you the rest of the food that I have. All right, so here it is. I've got my pumpkin protein balls. Ignore all the dishes in the sink. Oh my gosh. My overnight oats, I made those with blueberries this time. I've shown you guys this before, and I'll show you again if you need me to, but that's why I didn't show you this time. I have my salad jars that I made. I told you I had steak left over, so that's in there with some cottage cheese, and then the vegetable, you know, just a regular salad. Here's my chicken, broccoli, and spaghetti squash, but I also get an orange, which is either a salad dressing or olives. So it's half an orange, so I have 5 olives with each one, because the other, oh, it's also seeds and nuts, I think. The other half of an orange is the chia seeds in my overnight oats. So I like to split them up sometimes. And that's why I have a tracker. So there's all of that with the spaghetti squash. So if you're doing fixate or 80-day obsession or whatever, it's 1 red, 2 green, and half an orange for this. And then, so I have that every day. I eat the same thing every day. That keeps it simple for 5 days, and then I'll switch it up. And then there's my waffles that I'll have with 2 eggs every morning. The only other thing I didn't show you that I will have every single day, but I'll show you now actually, is my protein shake. It's actually more like a superfood shake. It's, I drink the Shakeology. I love it. But if you want to follow, you can do whatever protein that just counts as a red. But I really like the Shakeology because it has all the pro and prebiotics and the veggies and all the things. It has all the stuff in it that you need, plus the protein. So I will have that as a snack also. And then that's it. That's what I'm going to eat for the next 5 days. And thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments or if you have any questions, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.